Hello people of the internet, welcome to Paint to Life episode 35, the YouTube channel where we take tiny plastic miniatures, throw some acrylic paint on them, and breathe life into them with storytelling so you might learn something new on the subject, or perhaps create something for your own campaign as well. If this is your first time here, if you're just passing through and you like the content, please like and subscribe, it helps our channel grow, and if you're a returning visitor or even a new visitor, stay tuned to the end of the video as I'm going to be giving away this Nolzur's Marvelous Miniature Kraken as a giveaway this month. Donated by my friendly local gaming store, Phoenix Rising in St Catharines. So that'll be going out this month. So make sure you stick around to the end of the video to find out how you can enter and you can win. I'm GM Atank. Let's get painting. All right. Last week we painted the Nolzur's Marvelous Miniature Male Human Cleric. It was Gavin Knight. His episode is here if you missed it. We'll be using him as a sense of scale moving forward when we paint alongside other bigger creatures. Tonight's episode is about a monstrous insectoid known as an Umberhulk. Looking like a cross between a gorilla and a beetle, Umberhulks are four-eyed monstrosities who live deep under the earth. Their bulk was covered in chitinous armored plates, tougher than steel, that laid all over their hair-like feelers. In addition, their powerful arms and legs both ended in tough claws that could rip apart rock and dirt with ease. Their big, bulky bodies were meant to lean on underground passages, either natural or self-made, and they were therefore somewhat clumsy when out in the open. Now, two of their four eyes were large, insectoid, and compound, which gave them exceptional dark vision. In addition to their absolutely brutal strength, savage claws, and mandibles, they had two more eyes on their forehead that were jet black. These additional eyes emitted a confusion-like gaze, and any of their opponents that made eye contact with those black eyes would find themselves mind scrambled, wandering in random directions, standing there dazed and confused, or just attacking the nearest creature. Now, Umberhulks were commonly viewed by other races as unthinking brutes. This was a misconception that they were glad to propagate. You see, not the smartest creature with an intelligence score of 9 understand that your average commoner humanoid has an intelligence of 8. Umberhulks were perfectly capable of rational thought and forward thinking, which kind of gave them an edge in encounters when people underestimated their intelligence. They would conduct raids on dungeons and settlements, but only kill a few before leaving, thus allowing the food source time to replenish itself. And also, using their feelers, they could sense movement around them. They would lie in wait around corridors and other crucial points waiting to strike, and sometimes they would just outright break through the wall to attack their unsuspecting prey. While typically solitary creatures, female Umberhulks would give live birth to 1 to 3 babies at a time known as hulklings, and then they would carve out or excavate a little nursery and take care of them until they were old enough to fend for themselves. Umberhulks spoke to one another using a brutal and harsh language known as Hulkish, consisting of various hissing, clicking sounds, grunting noises combined with gestures, as well as eye, mouth, and mandible movements. So it's very difficult for someone other than an Umberhulk to speak the language without the physiology to do so. Now, if you're a DM running a campaign with an Umberhulk encounter, you should consider using them as an ambush-style attack. Have them break through the wall. Oh yeah! Or try and grab the weakest member of the party. But if that shot fails, have them either run away using cave-ins, escape tunnels, or burrowing to get away successfully. Remember, they are intelligent, and even if they're winning the fight because they're so powerful, if they get hurt, you could use that as enough of an impetus for them to get out of there before they die, because they're not going to want to have a desire to fight until the death. Now, as a player, if you encounter an Umberhulk, remember that their confusing gaze is their biggest threat. They can use it every turn without an action, it just happens. And it's a charisma-based saving throw, so a lot of your beefy fighters and barbarians will have charisma as their dump stat. It'll be low, they'll likely fail, which means they'll either stand there doing nothing, run away in an opposite direction, or, worst case scenario, attack the closest person, which is probably your healer or your spellcaster, which is a bad time. The easiest way to deal with it is to not look at them, think Medusa, fight with your head averted, albeit taking disadvantage in all your attacks, but that penalty pales in the comparison of getting confused and smashing your party members instead. But what about our Umberhulk? Who is that? It was time for sleep, and 2 children were asking their mother for a bedtime story. Mother, please tell us the story again about how you defeated the monsters before we was born. Child, I've told you this story many times. Oh, but we love it. Please tell it again, Ma. Oh, all right, dears. One story, then it's off to bed with ya. Once upon a time, there was an adventuring party. A rough-shod man with a beard stinking of an animal pen. A nimble-looking chap with a hawkish nose and a set of magical daggers. A wise-looking man with a fancy staff and a robe that flowed purple and moved even when he was standing still. And a strong woman wearing full plate mail, a royal-looking shield with a glowing longsword. Also, she was quite beautiful if I do say so myself. Both children snicker at their mother. The group descended into the earth, looking to plunder ancient ruins or rediscover secrets lost to history. They uncovered a forgotten tomb, bypassed all of its magical traps meant to ward off grave robbers, and were successful in taking away all of the valuables. They also found a very large key and a door that the key fit that led deeper into the Underdark. Quick side note, I actually have a question about this. How long does someone need to be buried before it's acceptable to dig them up and take away their valuables without being labeled a thief or a grave robber? I don't know. Anyways, children, that should have been the end of the story. However, the adventuring party was very greedy, and again returned with their key to unlock that door into the dungeon of the unknown, deeper into the earth. You know, an Umberhulk with all of its strength can sit on the other side of a wall with its sensory organs just waiting for the right time for something to pass. Then it can push that wall apart like it's made of paper, grab the weakest target, and use its legs to cause a ceiling collapse, thereby preventing it from being chased as it makes its escape with its prey. And that's exactly what happened. Imagine the look on the purple-robed man's face as the dungeon wall exploded beside him. For all his fancy robes and staff and training, he didn't even have time to think before he was killed. The others frantically excavated at the collapsed tunnel to pursue. They should have let it go right there and the story would be over. Casualty of adventure. But the nimble man was able to squeeze through when the opening was wide enough. He scouted ahead and was able to creep up on the impressive Umberhulk that was eating his friend. Enraged, he attacked with his magical daggers, causing great wounds and causing green blood to spill on the floor of the tunnel. You know, children, a wise Umberhulk will always have many escape tunnels available to them at all times, as was the case in this scenario. The rogue was grabbed up off his feet and carried through the tunnel by the Umberhulk to the brink of a deep chasm into which it leapt, splashing into a chilly underground lake far below, where it sank to the bottom like a rock while the man struggled to escape from the iron claws and vice-like grip. Unfortunately for him, humans cannot hold their breath for as long as an Umberhulk. Again, that should have been the end of the story, but the beautiful woman was determined to slay the creature that killed her friends. The children look up at their mother in awe. So, the rugged man transformed himself into a walrus, and the woman climbed up atop his back, if you can believe it. And from there, they both dove into the depths to seek out their quarry. Now, upon the shore of that subterranean lake was a large cave full of glowing lichen, where the three would have their final encounter. The rugged man then again changed forms from that of a walrus to a large bear, and a magical daylight spell materialized in the darkness, causing the royal crest on the warrior's shield to glow like the sun. The sudden change in light levels from darkness to daylight temporarily blinded everyone, and exposed every hidden nook and cranny of this cave, as well as floors and walls of solid rock. Not usable for quick burrowing. No, there would be no escaping or hiding from here. You know, children, the black eyes of an Umberhulk will cause a malady of the head to anyone who gazes upon them. That includes men who can turn into bears. Suffering a state of confusion, huge bear claws rake down upon the beautiful warrior, him thinking her his enemy. Both of the children gasp. But the brave woman looked determined as ever as she fought both massive creatures at the same time. Finally, her sword was driven deep into the heart of the bear, unfortunately ending her companion's life. Now there was only the great Umberhulk and this fierce warrior woman left, both fighting for their lives. "How did you kill it, Mommy?" one of the children asks. "Holding my side, bleeding from my wounds, I was determined to win this encounter, so that I might survive, to be here to share this story with you, my child." The sword glowed with magic as it pierced the thickly armored carapace and sank deep. And just then, the sword was stuck. It wouldn't come out, and the struggling to make it so caused the blade to break from the hilt. That distraction was my chance. I grabbed the warrior woman in my claws and decapitated her with my mandibles. Yay! Both children cheered. Show us the scar! Show us the scar! The mother Umberhulk lifts her mass and uncovers a small, slightly glowing sword blade still stuck inside her chitin. Now, take this story to hear, little Hulklings. Tetic, the Broodlord. All right, what did you think of the story of Tetic, the Broodlord? Here she is, for the shelf. Now, in case any of you are wondering, I am available for a very modest fee to record voicemail greetings or send death threats on your behalf in Umberhulk Hulkish. Just reach out to me at paintalife@gmail.com if you're interested in hooking that up. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, this month we'll be doing a giveaway. This Nolzur's Marvelous Miniature Kraken, generously donated to Paint to Life by my friendly local gaming store, Phoenix Rising, here in St Catharines. So if you want to win this, this is what you need to do. 1, you need to like this video. 2, you need to be a subscriber of Paint to Life. And 3, you need to email me at painttolife@gmail.com. The link's in the description below. You need to tell me in at least 3 paragraphs who this Kraken is. A little mini Paint to Life episode, if you will. You tell me who you think it is or the story behind it. I'll review all the submissions during the month, I'll select my favorite, and I'll send it to you. So, if you're interested, that's what you need to do. While we're on the topic, head on down to your friendly local gaming store, pick up some brushes, paints, grab some minis. As we head into the cold winter months with the resurgence of COVID, it's probably not a bad idea to get a hobby that you can do from your kitchen table or your crafting area. It's a great hobby to get into, as I've told you all many times. And pretty soon I'll be giving a little bit of thought behind some initial starter kits. And I figure I've been telling you guys this for 34 weeks now to go out and do these things, but I'm not really giving you any direction. So watch to see that in the coming weeks. So again, guys, thank you very much for watching. I really enjoy doing this and I really enjoy your presence. I'm GM Atank. Wash your hands, people. We'll see you next time. Can I enter my own giveaway?